Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome to Heaven of the Heart. This is your safe space to pause, breathe, and find strength again. Here, we talk about self-care, love, and the gentle power that lives within every woman. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Let's begin.
There's a unique kind of loneliness that hides inside a relationship. It's the kind that doesn't come from being physically alone, but from giving endlessly while receiving almost nothing back. Many women quietly carry this weight. You wake up each day asking yourself, if I stop trying, will this love even survive? You give your time, your heart, your effort. You cook the meals, remember the dates, send the messages, plan the future. You are the glue that holds everything together. And yet, when you look beside you, the space feels empty. Not because he's gone, but because he isn't showing up. That's the silent heartbreak, loving so much that you forget what it feels like to be loved equally in return. It's not always dramatic fights or betrayals. Sometimes the wound is the quiet neglect, the missing effort, the heavy silence. And slowly, you start to wonder, is this love, or am I just carrying this alone? This is what today's episode is about, the struggle of carrying a relationship by yourself. Together, we'll talk about how to recognize the imbalance, what it does to your soul, and how you can step back to protect your worth. Because love should be a dance, not a burden, and you deserve a partner who meets you halfway. There's a quiet kind of heartbreak that doesn't always come from betrayal, arguments, or a sudden goodbye. It's the heartbreak of being in a relationship where you feel like the only one holding it together. Many women know this feeling far too well. You give your time, your love, your energy. You pour yourself out in hopes that one day he'll see your effort and finally meet you halfway. But instead, you find yourself exhausted, wondering why love feels more like labor than joy. The invisible weight you carry. Carrying a relationship alone doesn't always look obvious from the outside. Friends might see the couple pictures on social media, the smiles at gatherings, the occasional romantic gesture. But behind closed doors, you know the truth. You are the planner, the peacemaker, the one who remembers birthdays, anniversaries, and bills. You're the one who notices when something is wrong and tries to fix it. You're the one who apologizes, even when you're not at fault, just to restore peace. It's like dragging a heavy cart uphill. Every step takes effort, and while you're pushing with all your strength, he's either walking lightly beside you or sometimes even adding more weight without realizing. And after a while, your body aches, your spirit aches, and you begin to wonder how much longer you can keep pushing. Why women stay in this role? So many women ask themselves, why do I keep giving when I'm not receiving? The answer isn't simple. Sometimes it's love, or at least the hope of love. You remember the good moments, the sweet beginnings, the promises whispered in the early days. You keep holding on to that picture, believing if you just love harder, he'll come back to being that man again. Other times, it's fear. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of what people will say if the relationship ends. Society often teaches women that endurance is a form of virtue, that being the strong one is proof of love. But strength without support isn't love, it's sacrifice. And when you sacrifice your happiness day after day, you're not preserving love, you're slowly erasing yourself. The emotional cost of carrying alone. When you're the only one nurturing the relationship, the cost is heavy. Emotionally, you begin to feel invisible. Your needs go unheard, your feelings overlooked. You might even start questioning your worth, wondering if maybe you're asking for too much. But asking for love, attention, and partnership isn't asking for too much. It's asking for the bare minimum of what a healthy relationship requires. Mentally, it drains your energy. You're tired not just from the responsibilities, but from the constant overthinking. Did I do something wrong? Why doesn't he care the same way? How do I fix this? That mental noise becomes louder than your own inner peace. Physically, it can even affect your health. Stress builds up. Sleepless nights pile one after another. Your body carries the tension of always being on alert, always ready to hold things together. And all of this leads to a deep sense of loneliness, the kind that no amount of hugs or words can heal when they don't come from genuine effort. Signs you're carrying it alone. Sometimes women know in their hearts but deny it in their minds. To make it clear, here are some signs. You're always the one initiating conversations, plans, or affection. Arguments end because you step in to fix them, not because both of you worked it out. You feel guilty when you need attention or ask for help. He dismisses your feelings with phrases like, "You're overreacting," or "It's not a big deal." You often feel more like his caretaker, his mother, or his manager than his partner. If you're nodding at these signs, it's not just your imagination, it's real. And acknowledging it is the first step towards change. Why balance matters in love. A healthy relationship isn't 50-50 every single day. There are times when one person gives more because the other is struggling, and that's natural. But balance is about long-term patterns. If you're always giving 90 while he gives 10, that's not balance. It's depletion. Real love is partnership. It's not about keeping score, but about both people showing up, both people trying, both people investing in the bond. When love is shared, even challenges feel lighter because you're facing them together. When it's one-sided, even small issues feel crushing because you're facing them alone. Breaking the cycle of overgiving. The hardest part for many women is stepping back. You've been trained to believe that if you don't hold it all together, everything will fall apart. And sometimes it will. But here's the truth. If a relationship only survives because you sacrifice your well-being, it's not a healthy relationship. It's a prison. Breaking the cycle doesn't mean walking away immediately, unless that's the choice you know is right. It starts with boundaries, with saying, "I can't keep doing everything on my own," with allowing space for him to step up. And if he doesn't, you learn an important truth. He's not willing to meet you halfway. And that truth, while painful, is also freeing. 7. Loving yourself back to wholeness. When you stop overgiving, you may feel guilt at first. Guilt because you're so used to pouring yourself out. But slowly, you'll begin to notice something. The more you give back to yourself, the lighter you feel. The more you prioritize your needs, the stronger you become. Self-love isn't selfish, it's survival. It's choosing to say, "I deserve peace. I deserve love that doesn't leave me empty." And when you make that choice, you begin to see clearly. Sometimes the relationship can shift if both people are willing to grow. But if it doesn't, you'll at least have protected the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself. 8. Reclaiming your power. Carrying a relationship alone is like carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. At first, you think it's manageable. Then it gets heavier, and you tell yourself, "I can do it, I'm strong." But strength doesn't mean carrying unnecessary weight forever. Real strength is knowing when to set it down. You reclaim your power by recognizing that love is supposed to be mutual, that your worth isn't measured by how much you endure, that you deserve joy, laughter, care, and effort just as much as you give them. And if you ever feel like you're too much, remember this: you're not too much. You're just giving too much to someone who gives too little. Take a deep breath for a moment. Let go of the noise around you and simply sit with your own heart. Sometimes, in the rush of carrying a relationship, we become so focused on the other person that we forget to listen to ourselves. Reflection is about turning that gaze inward, asking, "What am I truly feeling?" Naming the weight. Close your eyes and picture yourself standing with that heavy cart we spoke about earlier. Notice what's inside it. Is it the responsibility of always being the one to call? Is it the loneliness of giving love without receiving it? Is it the fear of letting go? Naming the weight is the first step to understanding it. Because often what hurts the most isn't just what he's not giving, it's the silence you've accepted in exchange for his presence. Asking the hard questions. Now, ask yourself some gentle but honest questions. When was the last time I felt truly supported in this relationship? Do I feel seen and cherished, or mostly unseen and tired? Am I carrying love, or am I carrying someone else's neglect? These questions aren't meant to make you feel guilty. They are meant to bring clarity. Sometimes we avoid them because we're afraid of the answers. But avoiding the truth doesn't erase it. It only delays our healing. The illusion of, if I just try harder. Many women carry the quiet belief that if they just try harder, cook more meals, send more loving texts, forgive more quickly, their partner will finally step up. But love isn't unlocked by effort alone. True partnership requires willingness from both sides. Reflect on whether you're giving because you want to, or because you're afraid of what will happen if you stop. That distinction matters deeply. The mirror of self-worth. Every relationship reflects back to us how we see ourselves. If we see ourselves as worthy of love, respect, and balance, we won't settle for crumbs. But if part of us doubts our value, we might accept less than we deserve. This reflection isn't about blame, it's about compassion. Ask yourself, am I staying because I believe I'm worth so little, or because I believe he will eventually change? Sometimes the answer reveals that what needs healing isn't just the relationship, it's the way we see our own worth. Letting yourself feel. As you reflect, don't rush to fix the answers. Allow yourself to simply feel. Feel the sadness of being unseen. Feel the anger of giving too much. Feel the longing for something better. These emotions aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of being alive, of having a heart that still wants to love and be loved. Too often, women silence their feelings to keep the relationship peaceful. But peace built on silence isn't real peace. Reflection invites you to let those feelings rise without judgment. A gentle reframe. Instead of asking, why doesn't he love me enough? Try asking, why am I staying where love isn't flowing back to me? This shifts the focus away from his choices to your own power. Because the truth is, you cannot control how someone shows up, but you can choose how much of yourself you continue to give where it isn't being honored. A pause for your heart. Imagine for a moment setting that heavy cart down. Imagine taking off the backpack filled with rocks. Notice how light your body feels in that vision. That's the space reflection gives you. The ability to pause, to rest, to realize you don't have to carry it all. And in that pause, ask yourself this simple but powerful question. What kind of love do I want to welcome into my life from this day forward? Because your heart is not made to be a storage place for burdens. It's made to bloom, to breathe, to be cherished. My love, pause for a moment and place your hand over your heart. Feel that steady beat inside your chest. That rhythm is yours. It has carried you through every season of life, through heartbreak, through joy, through days you thought you wouldn't survive but somehow did. That heartbeat alone proves something powerful. You are enough, just as you are. You are not defined by his effort. It's easy to start believing that if someone doesn't love you the way you need, then maybe you're unlovable. But that is a lie. Someone else's lack of effort is not a mirror of your worth. It's a mirror of their capacity. His silence doesn't mean you're not worthy of being heard. His absence doesn't mean you're not worthy of presence. His neglect doesn't mean you're not worthy of care. You are the prize. So often, women are taught to chase love, to prove themselves worthy of staying, to keep giving until someone notices. But let me remind you, you are the prize. You are not begging for a seat at the table. You are the table. You carry light, softness, strength, and resilience within you. Any man who cannot recognize that is not someone you need to shrink yourself for. When you start to see yourself this way, everything changes. You no longer ask, am I enough? Instead, you ask, is he capable of meeting me at my level? The power of walking away. One of the bravest acts of self-worth is choosing to walk away from a love that asks you to carry everything alone. Walking away doesn't mean you failed. It means you finally honored yourself. It means you chose peace over chaos, balance over exhaustion, dignity over desperation. And remember, endings are not always losses. Sometimes they are the very doorway to freedom, to a love that will one day meet you fully. You deserve mutual effort. Repeat this softly to yourself. I deserve love that is mutual. I deserve effort that matches mine. I deserve care that flows both ways. These are not luxuries. These are not too much. These are the foundation of healthy love. When you start believing this at the core of who you are, you stop settling for crumbs and start waiting for the feast your heart truly deserves. Your value is inherent. Even if no one sends you flowers, even if no one texts you good morning, even if no one notices the details you put into caring for others, you are valuable. Your value is not dependent on recognition, on applause, or on being chosen. You were born worthy. Your worth is stitched into every part of your being, and no neglect, no lack of effort, no failed relationship can erase that truth. Stand in your wholeness. When you remember your worth, you stop trying to bargain with love. You stop saying, if I give more, maybe he'll stay. Instead, you say, if he cannot give, I will still be whole. Because wholeness doesn't come from a partner, it comes from within. The right partner will only add to it, not complete it. So stand tall, speak kindly to yourself. Look in the mirror and see not someone who is too much, but someone who is more than enough. So, my love, if you find yourself carrying the relationship alone, know this: you don't have to. Love was never meant to be a burden you drag behind you. It was meant to be a shelter, a partnership, a place where two hearts meet halfway. If today's words touch something deep inside you, let it be a reminder that you are not invisible. Your efforts are seen. Your love is real. And most of all, you are worthy of a love that feels light, mutual, and safe. Take with you this truth. You do not have to prove your value by overgiving. You don't need to shrink, to beg, or to fight for scraps of affection. You are deserving of the kind of love that honors your heart without question. And if that love is not here yet, it doesn't mean you are broken. It means you are making space for someone who will show up, for a season where you honor yourself, for a life that feels aligned with your worth. As you step away from this episode, breathe in the thought that you are whole already. You are enough already, and you are never truly alone, because the love you give to yourself will always carry you farther than any half-hearted effort ever could. Thank you for spending this time with me here in Heaven of the Heart. If these words brought you peace, healing, or strength, I'd love for you to join this community of women worldwide who are reclaiming their worth one heartbeat at a time. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, stand tall in your value, and remember, the love you deserve begins within you.
Thank you for spending this time with me on Heaven of the Heart. Remember, you are worthy of care, love, and happiness every single day. If today's message touched your heart, please share it with another woman who needs this reminder too. Until next time, take care of your body, your mind, and your soul. And never forget, beauty has no age, and your heart is your true home.